Aloha, good morning. It's Aloha Friday, and we came to work today at 3:30, so it's 7:50 now. That's a little over 4 hours ago. Just finished up our third container movement of the day. The 3:30 start time is when we do 2 loads out to the grocery store distribution warehouse. When we do 1, we come in at 5, but when we do 2, we have to come in at 3:30. So we took 2 full loads out to the grocery store distribution. One was spices, and the other one was mayonnaise. So if you get your best food mayonnaise sometime in the next week, I'm the one that got that thing to the warehouse where it could be distributed. Well, we were in the neighborhood and we picked up a empty from the commodity distributor out there in Campbell. Brought that through the rush hour traffic here to the shipping terminal, Santa Ana. It's Friday, so there's not a lot going on the docks. It's pretty, but man, the fog is super heavy today. My eyes and my sinuses are just inflamed. Once or twice a year I'll take a medication. I might have to do that in order to get to sleep tonight, because I can barely breathe right now. It is super irritating to me. Checked in with dispatch. He's got an LTL. I think there's like a handful of LTLs off of yesterday's big ship of the week. Still here in the shipping terminal. We got one of them, the 266 Alpha 19 stall 45. We're in a Delta 11 at the moment. So let's head over to Alpha 19. Foggy morning air. You don't notice it when you're driving around in darkness, but when the sun comes up, man, it's disgusting. So I got this comment. I didn't respond to it. I respond to comments every now and then. I don't, like I said, I'm not a big time YouTuber, so I don't really interact as much as I probably should. But I think it went something like, I'm moving to Hawaii, who do I talk to? Talk to everybody. What do you mean? And so it got me thinking about it. Well, when it comes to work, you know, how do you go about getting a job in Hawaii? You know, how hard is that? It's not hard because you're in the driving seat. Okay, 45? Alpha 19, 45. 266, 45. So we'll get hooked up to this. But yeah, it's because everybody's looking to hire, especially in the transportation industry. You pretty much call the shots, you know. I mean, I would do a little due diligence as far as maybe research the company you're applying with. If you have a website where you can apply online, take down a few numbers and names of who to see. Yeah, maybe put together a resume. You know, nothing. A resume is just one of those things they're going to go, "Oh, this is nice," and then that'll be the last time they look at it until they actually hire you. Then they'll go, "Where did he go to high school?" "Oh no, that's not my high school." So the resume to me is not a big deal, but just I would want to send an email, do an online application, get the name of the people that do the hiring, and then actually go to the job site or the company and knock on the door and ask to see the person that hires. And because you're in the driver's seat, if they don't have time to spend with you, then find out when there is time and have them give you a tour of the facility and show you around, and you know, have like 20 questions ready to go as far as what their benefits are and how much time you're going to be working. And when you show up ready to work. Show up ready to work that day. You know, you got your jeans and your shirt. You probably don't need a vest, but bring work gloves with you and wear your steel-toe sneakers or shoes. Be ready to hit the road that day. And I think that's about all it takes. All right, let's get this container with all its hazmat material inside pre-tripped. See this? That means the glad has been changed. It's probably this one. I guess they didn't need this stuff for this washer. Maybe I can use it. Is not on. Is that light on? Yeah. Which means this is probably unplugged. That's how you fix an unplugged light. You plug it back in. Inflated. We're taking it back to our terminal and putting it on the dock, so we only have to take it 4 miles down the road. Not going to worry about it too much, but it would be nice if all the lights are working. This one's not, so we're going to have to get a screwdriver and get that fixed. Grab our screwdriver and then see if that license plate light light is plugged in. If not, we'll find one to swap it out with. Then we can make our way back to our terminal. Yeah, just like the front marker light, the rear license plate light was unplugged, so we just plugged it back in. Must be all those potholes we have here, no ice shaking things loose. Brakes even work. Alright, we're set to go. Heavy we are, but because it's one of the last containers to come off the ship, I'm guessing it's probably a heavy can. Feels heavy. Not super heavy, but heavy. So yeah, it kind of helps to know what kind of company you're signing up for, because not all companies are the same. Our company is pretty diverse. Meaning we not only have a warehouse, we have a trucking company, we do warehousing, we do inside deliveries. You know, we do scanning with electronics and stuff like that. A lot of telephone work sometimes. A lot of physical too. I mean, and then like if you were to go on a tour of the company, tour the docks, the lowest paid worker is working harder than anyone else physically, because he's offloading the containers, and when you offload a container you have to be able to keep track of things. You know, if you get the manifest and it says there's supposed to be 3 pallets of salsa, you got to find the 3 pallets of salsa, so you have to kind of know what a pallet of salsa looks like. And then if there's 120 cases of potato chips stacked on top of that, that's been top loaded and it's you know, hand stacked in there, then you have to be able to unstack that and palletize it and keep track of the count, pallets. So there's a lot of physical work on the docks. And if you can't do that, everybody's going to know that you can't do that. That's just the way companies are. And so, like I say, you want to be aware of what kind of company you're working for. 43,000 pounds of consolidated freight. Making our way out of the shipping company. Start off at the docks and make a little pay and do a lot of physical work and work your way up from there. Next step up is a checker. A checker, all he does is count things all day long and make sure that there's 3 pallets and 120 cases or whatever. He then sets that up, gives that off to a loader, which is normally driving a forklift operator. The loader then takes it from there and either organizes it somewhere in the warehouse. Sometimes he'll take it and organize it outside, or most of the time he'll organize it somewhere in the warehouse on the shelves. There's another loader's going to come along pretty soon and pick that stuff up, load it into a truck. So you have to be able to keep track of it all along the way. The truck driver comes along, secures the load, make sure he has the paperwork. In this case, got an out-of-date ticket. DOT scale, but just showing up to work. Just put down the gate, pick up the cones. It's 8:08. That should be open for business in about an hour. You don't have to be an expert in the warehouse, but you want to understand what's going on. you know, the company finally went bust, and now they're looking for a job. And got 25 years of experience, and driven most of their life. Put them on the road, and they don't know how to use a pallet jack. You know? Don't know how to down stack freight. Don't know how to hand truck it into an office, or because they've been doing kind of the same run back and forth, day in, day out for years on end. And trust me, when it comes to that run, they are an expert. But now they're starting something new, and sometimes it's best to learn from the ground up. So if you can't get that trucking job right off, man, I'd get into the warehouse, because you can always leave the warehouse and go into trucking, because a good trucker is more valuable than a good warehouse man, I think. Well, nah, I shouldn't say that. I always hope we have a few good warehouse workers that don't want to be drivers, you know, to hold everything together. But I always encourage new warehouse guys, you know, that you don't want to be there your whole life. You want to be moving into trucking at least, make more money and do less work. So we're making our way on the Sand Island Access Road just ahead of the light. We'll get onto Nimitz Highway. Make our trek down Nimitz Highway to the terminal. Again, it's just a 4-mile trip. This is the run I do more than any other. At least 2 or 3, or sometimes 4 times a day. Either the shipping terminal to our terminal, or the terminal back to the shipping terminal. Back and forth, back and forth. It's a simple job. Pick it up, we move it, we drop it off. But not necessarily easy, because trust me, the pre-tripping of this truck was harder than what we're doing right now as far as the driving. Learning how to unplug lights and plug them back in, and cranking up the landing gear, making sure we're safe. Now we got to merge. Flags at McDonald's say the air is not very moving, and that's why the fog is really bad. But this is going to make our way back to our terminal. This is our 4th movement of the day. I've never seen that mower before. Because it didn't look like a new mower. It looked like an old-time tractor with a mower attachment. So we make our right onto Pacific Street. This is not always that easy. Sometimes the cars pull out too far. I'm saying is that, you know, if you know what you want, then go around and look for that exact position. If you just want to drive and not do warehouse or inside deliveries or have to pallet jack, then, you know, find a company that does that. But when you come to a company where the drivers do everything and expect that you're just going to be that one driver that doesn't do that, doesn't work out too well. That's why I think time spent with your safety officer or whoever's doing the evaluation and doing the hiring, if they can give you a tour of the facility and give you an idea of exactly what your job opening the back doors. I'm want to evaluate where the best dock is. So we got quite a few choices. Alright, I'm going to go with dock number 7 unless somebody comes along and tells us different. 10, 11, and 12, they all look kind of jammed up already with 50 pallets. Got our doors open. Nothing fell out. It's always a good sign. I'm looking at all the tractors in the yard, but I'm seeing all the drivers around. They're just not driving tractors. They're driving box trucks and small trucks. That's kind of what I'm saying is that when freight dictates that, you know, we're going to do some flatbed work or some box truck work or white glove or inside delivery type work, you got to be ready to do that. Otherwise, you got to find somebody else. That's why I want to loosen up the tension on this fifth wheel. This fifth wheel is less than 2 years old. It's pretty new. I just feel like the tension is a little too tight. Jobs where somebody's got to do it. If it doesn't get done, all this stuff doesn't get delivered. You're looking for work. We're always looking for people who want to get the work done. But there's a lot of people out there that just want to do nothing to get paid. Yes. Yeah, Bob Tilly on dock number 7. Roger that. He's got some paperwork at dispatch. He said to come and see him. So off to the next one. 2:45. We can finally shut it down. You start at 3:30 in the morning. The afternoons are a little rough. There we go. So yeah, we came in at 3:30. We drove like 183 miles. We did 10 container movements. We'll be out of here by 3. Almost a 12-hour day. So we'll make a little overtime this week, even though I only work 4 days. That's okay. But yeah, I guess what got me going this morning was that somebody asked the question, you know, who do I talk to? And the idea that came to my mind is that it's an employee's market. In other words, the employers are desperate for good employees. And to me, a good employee is a person that, you know, works hard. And to me, working hard means at the end of the day, you get together with all the other guys that worked hard and say, yeah, we kicked butt today. Or another sign that you're a hard worker, I only work 4 days a week, so on my day off on Wednesday, I come back on Thursday and I feel like I missed out because everybody else was working and I wasn't. And so that's kind of how, you know, I'm 62, so I've developed a little bit of a work habit, and I have a lot of muscle memory, so I don't have to think about things as much as a new employee would. But yeah, I would just go in thinking that, you know, be smart about it. Do your due diligence, do a little research before you get there, show up ready to work that day, and investigate who you're working for. Because I've worked for some people that, you know, I like to work, I like people, but I've worked for some shady people over the years as side hustle jobs. Most of my full-time work has been on the up and up, but the side hustle jobs could have led to full-time work. They were always trying to get me to come in full-time, but I was like, you know, your trucks aren't even registered, you know. There's no insurance on that truck. This one's not registered. There's no safety check. You know, the equipment would be in either bad shape, or they weren't keeping records, or they weren't paying tax. I worked for a big company that didn't pay taxes. When I drove tour buses in the beginning, we were working 100 hours a week, and they were doing what is known as block time, which turned out to be illegal. And block time meant that we picked up a group of tourists and we took them out to the Polynesian Culture Center, and they would spend the day there. And so they would be there from 7 until, no, we'd get them out there around 10 o'clock in the morning. They'd spend the day, and at the end of the show at 7 o'clock, we'd bring them back to Waikiki, or maybe it was 6:30, 7 o'clock. So anyway, I think they were out there for whatever it was. Let's say, I can't remember. Let's say it was 10 hours. They were at the Polynesian Culture Center for 10 hours, and the driver would stay with them the whole time. But it was like a big break for us. We would go body surfing. You know, they had an employee lounge and buffet that we could go to eat and stuff like that. So it's a pretty nice gig. But they paid us block time. In other words, we had to be there for 10 hours, but they only paid us for 7. Because most of the time we were just sitting around waiting in case there was an emergency, and looking after the equipment and stuff. And so things like that over the years, I've seen a few things. So yeah, just my overall feeling about this, though, it's an employee's market. Take your time and find some place that you enjoy, so that you don't have to. I hate looking for work. So when I go out to look for work, I go out to look for work, you know. I think there's only a few jobs I've ever applied for that I haven't been able to get, you know. One was driving cement trucks, and that's because there was a big upset in the construction industry at the time I was trying to get hired, and they wanted to wait and see how it happened, worked out. That's the only time I ever remember applying for a job. They actually hired me, and then a week later they called me up and said, you know, this thing that's going on with the economy, we're not sure we're going to have the work, and we're just going to hold off. And at the same time, I was trying to get my tractor trailer license here at this company, and so I figured, okay, let me just pursue the tractor trailer license instead of being a cement truck driver. So yeah, it's good to have ambition. That was a topic that came up this the other day. 15,000 people left Hawaii last year. For what? Greener pastures? Were they ambitious, or were they lazy? You know, I have a feeling it's just the average overall. But maybe makes you wonder though, if it's the ambitious people that are leaving Hawaii, that's not good. We could end up being in the slums here pretty soon. But anyway, it was just a conversation that went around the shop the other day. Who's leaving Hawaii? That's it for, we're headed home. We're gonna make, man, the buffet last night was delicious. I'm thinking of doing the same thing, but all the good stuff is gone. It's just the soups that are left. But maybe, I'm thinking soup, salad, and make some fresh bread. And try not to eat so much. But that's about it for this week. Thanks for watching. Aloha.